Yeah, so guys, I'm giving you one project which you have to do now. So what is the project? Basically, there are three Excel different files, workbooks, and we need to now go and do the comparison that from which workbook, from which file we have got uh, the the top highest the sales, right? So the thing is that you have here, let me show you actually the files. So these are the files which are located in the same folder where I have created this PyCharm module. Okay. Yeah, so this is where in the same folder we have this the project we have created, project number 40, right? I want to give you first of all this, let's have a look at the data. It's a very small data, but of course, I mean, it doesn't matter. The data size can be anything. So if you look at this, this is your shop number one. It has an item name, right? And the item sold and the rest of the things. Now, similarly, we have shop 2 data also and shop 3 data also. The format is same, but the numbers are different. Now, what I want you to do is you are absolutely uh, you have full flexibility. Whatever you want to do, you have full freedom. We like to go and pick the item sold, the total item sold, right? Along with the average of the damage pieces from all these three different Excel files. And finally, your the code should be able to tell to the user, to the audience that so from this file, from the shop number one, it is this number, the total items sold, and from shop number two it is this, and from shop number three it is this. So basically we like to see which shop number has the most sellable items sold. Okay, are you getting the point? Along with the damage prices, the average damage prices, but the focus is on the highest to lowest for items sold. We just need to have something like this. So shop number one has, let's say, item sold this. Shop number two. So you want to create this report. Are you getting the point? Right? Let's say this is the number. And then shop number three, let's say it has a number called this. Okay. So I want to see the top on the highest, first highest, and then second highest. And along with this, we want to see their average also, the item sold, which can be anything, doesn't matter. Now this is what we need to do. Okay. So I'm starting this. Okay. You can pause, you can give it a try. So let's go to the pie chart. So the first thing which you want to do is that I have already created the width as 200 and set option we are using so that we can see the entire data. Okay. So now you see the first thing is that obviously we need to read the data. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to say that shop data one, okay, equals to, so we are using the pandas library. So we are going to use the Excel data. Okay. And we're going to use the read Excel this function. So I'm simply going to go and paste this here, right? So let's create this three different variables. Now this is where I actually will go and write the file name. Now what is the file name? Look at this now. So the file name actually is shop1.xlsx, right? So let's come back here and I'm going to say shop1.xlsx, right? And of course you know that we always have to write the sheet name also. So in our case, I think the sheet name is same for every file, which is sheet 2. Okay, so we have to write the sheet 2. So I'm just going to write here sheet 2. Okay, now once this is done, because all the files are in the same folder, so we're going to simply go and paste this here. And let me change this to shop 2. And so our structure, the headers are same. I know I haven't shown you the rest of the files, but those files also has the same number of columns. Okay, so this is going to be shop number 3. Okay, so I think this is what we need actually, right? Let's make sure S is capital. Okay, fine. So Python is a case sensitive language. Now I quickly want to actually check that if this data actually is coming or not. So I'm just going to print the data, and I'm just going to print all the data in one print command. Okay, we are not going to use this, but let's cross check if I mean if this is everything is going correct or not, right? So we should run this program, and now let's see that. Um, okay, so it says that the worksheet, the sheet 2 name is not found. Okay, so I think I did one mistake. S is capital, right? So, okay, so S is capital. Yeah, so errors are always, I say that they are our friends, I always say, right? Let's not shy away from the errors. If the error comes, well, we will go and sort it out if we know the fundamentals. Now look at this. I think we have got the data here. Okay. Yeah, you can see here the entire data is in front of you. And you know that because I have not used the slash n, so it's actually coming just right after the last data. So this is the last index and then the data starts again. Anyways, we don't need really slash 9. I just wanted to check if all the file data is coming. So this is the second file and this is the third file. Wow, fantastic. So now if you're wondering that why I have not written the complete path, there's no C colon, there is no D colon, isn't it? Well, you know what? Actually, the thing is that if the file is in the same folder where you have created this module, then you just have to write the file name. You don't have to write the file, the complete path. You know that when we started this the project, this training, if I just can show you, right? So any project, I mean, we can pick, yeah. So see this. This is where we actually used to give the complete path because our files were in the different folder, right? So this is again something I wanted to tell you. Fine. So we just go and write the name. Now we don't need this obviously. So I just go and comment this. Now, as I said that, because you see, this is my shop data, right? This is my shop data. Now, one thing you can do as an Excel user, you can write here that this is coming from shop one. So we can write here shop one, right? We can write here one column and that column we can write like this, shop one, shop one, shop one. So it helps us in identifying that the data, the item sold and the damage basis is coming from which file, right? Now, you can do that as well, but since we are working in I mean, since Python also can do this and it's very easy, so I think we can directly go and write the name and we can insert the column over here, right? So let me insert the columns which gives us the product name. So basically product name is shop 1, shop 2, whatever. So I've already taught you how we can insert the shop, the new column, right? So let's go and pick your this the shop data one. Okay, in the shop data one, let's insert that the header, right? So that header is going to be what do you want to call it? Shop name, right? I think shop name you can write, right? Shop and the name. So that's gonna be like shop one. So I'm just going to write here shop one. Okay. Similarly, for the other one, you see how this is so easy, isn't it? In Python, this is so easy. Python generally is all about writing that syntax. I mean, every syntax, as I said, that in other programming languages, if you go, then you find that there is a proper sequence of writing the code. First step, second step, third step. Python generally does everything in a single syntax most of the time, right? So, anyways, now I'm not saying that the Python is the best or that language is not good, whatever you are learning. I'm just telling you that how this language works. For me, I love Excel VBA, I love Access VBA and SQL and of course Python. So, one should always have a variety of languages in his pocket, in her pocket, right? You never know which language you would need. Anyways, so now you see, I have basically created these three columns and these are all actually going to be in different data frames, isn't it? So this means that now we will, if I go and run, let's say if I want to print now, maybe shop data one, I should be able to see a new column which says shop one value. So I'm always going to cross check this because this is very important. Now you can see here that I have got the data shop one. So basically we have inserted one column. Okay, so we have inserted column, right? Another benefit of this, creating the column over here, let's say for example, if you have 90,000, 100,000 number of rows, then unnecessarily you're going to make your file heavy if you go and do this right in the Excel. So in Python you can do this very easily without really changing the shape of your data, right? At least original files will remain the same. Okay, so this is cool, we are fine with this. what an achievement, though it is a small achievement, but still it is an achievement. Right? Okay, now the next thing which I want to now go and do is, see, you now what you have to do, basically, because all the files are same, if you want to have a look on the another file, why not? Let me show you. Right, see, all the files, the headers are same. You can see this is a different file, right? But the headers are same. So we can always use the pandas concatenate function. Remember that concatenate function, it works like a wonder in this particular code, because as I said, that Python is more about writing a single syntax. So here, that I can just go and write here in the list that what exactly I want to go and concatenate. So if the files have the same header, what happens? They get one data appends into the another data just right below the first one, and then the second one and the third one right below the second one, right? So I'm just going to go and do one thing. I'm just going to actually say that, okay, so these are our data frames, and this is what exactly we want to go and concatenate. What do you think about this? Right? And I always say that whenever you do any type of this, apply these methods or functions, just make sure that it doesn't have any parameter which says that the in place parameter which says that whether you want to do the changes or you do not want to do the changes, right? So if I look at here, I do I see here that parameter? I don't see that parameter. In place parameter is not there. So it means that finally, if I do this type of a job, so let's say that the total, or I say that data clubbed. Okay, we can give this a new name, data clubbed equals to this, right? Now, if I go and print the data club, we should have here all those the rows, right? So I'm just going to, sorry about capital D actually. Yeah. And one more thing, guys, I want to do here, right? So we want to actually make sure that the index of this should be false, because I want to see the index in a continuation form. It should not restart as soon as the new data comes. You have already learned all these things, right? But anyways, I'll just show you. It will be a revision if in case if you have forgot. Let's just go here and see that what exactly is happening here. Now it still shows me a row 51. So my each data has 51 rows. I think ignore index. I think I did one mistake actually. It should be true actually, because this might be coming from the last data. So let's create this as true, and let me run this. So I want a proper sequence, let me go and run this. Yeah, bingo. Look at this, guys. Okay, so 155. So one particular are this the data. This has how many rows? It has actually 52 rows. If I exclude the header, so 52, and I just multiply this with 3 because we have 3 files. It's coming as 156, right? And I think that's what I saw here. Yeah, fantastic. And you see the column remains the same. So basically we are able to concatenate the data. And the beauty of this is that, look at this now. You have got the shop names also. Now, what is the next step you want to do? The next step is very simple. We can group it. What do you think? I can say that group this entire on the basis of shop name and get me the total of the items sold and the average of the damage pieces. Wow, fantastic. So I mean, really think that this is going to be so easy? Yeah, so Python makes these things very, very easy, right? So let's quickly go and say that, okay, so we have got the data club and data club. I'm just going to actually group by. Going to use the group by. So we're going to use the group by on the shop name, right? The shop name. Fine. And then you know that how the group by works. So we will simply go and write item sold. So basically, grouping will happen based on the shop name. And after the shop name, so why we use the group by? So that we can do the average max, whatever we want to do, sum on that group. So I'm using this item sold, and then we can use the aggregate function. Now in the aggregate function, what I have to do, first of all, I have to use the sum, right? I just have to use the sum. Right now, I'm just going to use the sum, though you can calculate the average also, as I said, right? But the average, I said, it's not going to be calculated on the item sold. It has to be a new header, isn't it? It has to be a new header. So if I have to apply the aggregation on, these headers, then first of all, I just want to show you that how this is going to look like. So let's quickly go and just let me uh, let's see that, I mean, if we are able to do this or not. Let me cut this. Let me just paste this line here. Okay. So now let's quickly go and run this. And one more thing I want to do. I just want to say that this equals to this. Okay. So once the concatenate happens, then we are just saying group by. And now I'm actually saying that, okay, let me see the real output, right? So look at this now. So we have got the real output. Fantastic. Now you know that which is the highest one, but as I said that we want to actually go and sort this data, so we can sort this data also. Now before I sort this data, I also said that we want to see not just the item sold. I also want to see the average in front of this based on the based on what? Based on this the field called default uh, damage pieces. Actually, I beg your pardon, damage pieces, right? Okay, so let's go here. Now what I'm going to do, because this line now we need to change because we have different headers. So what I'm going to do, we are simply going to say that, okay, so let's create a dictionary over here, because dictionary can do this job for us very easily. So here, if you're hearing some background noise, I really please pardon me for this, because at the time when I'm recording a session, uh, some children are playing in the park. So please, I sincerely apologize for this, though I hope that it's not uh, that loud. I'm just going to write here items sold, and we're just going to use the colon, and this will give us the sum, and then there is another field which is called damaged pieces. I hope I'm writing the correct spellings. Okay, so colon, and then I just want the mean. So we want to average it, right? Now this is what exactly the plan is. So let's go and run this. Yeah, so one can clearly see that we have actually are able to see this, right? The last thing which I want now is that basically now we want to sort the data, right? So what I'm going to do actually is now data, this we will sort this data. You can sort the data in the single line also, but I prefer in this way. Okay, so let's go and sort this. Sort the values, sort the index. So I use the sort values. We want to sort this based on the item sold, right? So we are going to see the result now based on the item sold in the sorted order. And yes, you've got to go and write here ascending equals to false. Okay, false. Now, as I always say that you don't have to remember these parameters. You can always hover. Of course, there is a level, that when it comes, then you practice so much that you don't need to look at all these things. But let's say you go on a break of 2 months, 3 months, so it doesn't matter. Your fundamentals are supposed to be clear, right? One can always see that what exactly we have here. Now you see there are so many parameters, and look at this. There's an in place parameter also. So I must go and write the in place also. Otherwise, we will not be able to see the changes in this data, isn't it? So I'm just going to write in place equals to true, or you just go and write that data club equals to then all this line without the in place as true. So um, let's go and run this, and I hope that we will be able to see the results. And now you can see that we have got the results. This is fantastic. Okay, so that's how, guys. So we can do these the jobs pretty easily using the pandas library, and of course concatenate and the group by were the major attractions here, because of because of these features functions we were able to do this task in just few minutes. Yeah.